Hello and welcome to John Bengal Presents. Today I've got an extinguished guest. You have probably seen him on YouTube. He's got over 5,500 followers, and him and another guy who's with have been exploring a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So without further ado, let me introduce you to Flex and Exploring.
Hello.
And Twigg1UK. How you doing, guys?
Hello, not bad.
Very well.
Now, before I get into this interview, if you haven't already subscribed to me or Flex, do so. Flex's link is at the bottom. My one, hit the like button and the subscribe in the right hand side of the button. Anyway, let's get on. So, how you doing, boys?
Very good. Very good. Thank you.
Oh, well,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Thanks for coming on. And what I want to know is, firstly, what you do. Now, just in a nutshell, both of you, one at a time, explain what you
Right.
do.
Well, what we do basically, without going into too much detail, is we find buildings that are no longer occupied and we go in them and we try and find out what it was, what happened, that kind of thing. And it's just a massive interest for us to see what's in there. Basically, what we are is glorified nosy people. That's the way I'm going to explain it.
That's about right.
Okay, so glorified nosy people, yeah? When did you start? Because obviously there must have been a point when you went, I'm going to do this. How long ago? Because I've looked at your videos and, well, I would say about 8 years, maybe longer. Am I right on that?
About that, yeah. Yeah, around about that.
So, why did you start it?
The initial reason I started was I seen there was a couple of other people doing it, people that I watched quite often. It was a woman in America and a woman in Scotland, and I used to watch them quite a lot, and I was quite amazed at the bravery between the two of them. They used to go alone, and particularly the woman that I used to watch that did it in America just went anywhere she seen on her own, and there was a few times she did it and she put herself in massive danger where she had to get out. And I thought, if they can do it, I can do it. And then I started filming, and that was basically it, because I'd explored previously before that but never picked a camera up, and then that's what sort of stemmed from it. It was actually accidental how I started filming properly, because I was going to plan it properly. And my cousin rang me one night after he'd gone through a bit of a trauma, and he says, I need to drive out. I need to get my mind off what happened. Do you want to come with us? And I says, yeah. So we went about 7 in the morning. We found an abandoned house at Greenhill Stairs on the A74. And he said, that looks cool. I says, it does actually. He says, I'm going to go and drive up to that. Said, how are you going to get up to there from the motorway? And we found it, and we went up at 7 in the morning after we'd been out all night and filmed it. And that was my very, very, very first video and first insight into what everything was about. And I was hooked from the start. Wasn't a very good video, but it was how I started off, basically.
Okay, so I'm going to ask a question. Is that video still online?
Yeah, it's still online. Yeah.
So, folks, hit him up again, have a look, go right back, see how he's progressed, go for it. Twig, what got you into this?
Well, watching Flex and a few others, to be fair. And then I met up with Flex and then just started doing it with him. And I just do it just for the joy of it, to be fair. I record what I do, but I don't put it on out. It's just for my own personal sort of sit there and watch back and when I want sort of thing. But yeah, something I've always been interested in, never got a chance to. And then, like I say, I met Flex and he's like, do you want to come? So we did. And we've done a few and done a few other adventures while I've been at it. So yeah, it's been all fun along the way.
You got the fever for it. You
Yeah,
watch Flex, see the other YouTubers, because there's many of you guys out there. That's
yeah.
mental. So over the time you've been doing this, what would you say is your best video you've ever done? You don't have to pick it just for one. You can have your. I'll
Um,
throw it there. I mean, that's to you as well, Twig. I mean, obviously, you've both done some together. You've done on your own. I mean, you've been to France as well, haven't you, Flex? With
yeah.
others like WWF and Bucket, etc. Just to name two, because you were with them.
I think I've got. Can I have two for two very different reasons that I would explain?
Shall I let you have two? Yeah, go on then.
I'll explain why. One, for many reasons, is one that's based in the UK, and the particular video is actually based in Cumbria. And it was the time that I went to the farmhouse in the middle of nowhere before the incident where we got chased out by a farmer. And I like that video because it was just so unexpected what was in there. It was just so out of the world of everything else. The house where it wasn't situated between any other houses, cut off from the world. And I don't know, I just liked the way it looked on camera, and it just came across as innocent. If that sounds any way sense,
So
hard to
innocent
explain, but
and sort of in time.
yeah, it kind of on camera, it kind of spoke for itself. It kind of had its own voice. I didn't really need to do a lot, and it sort of told me what it wanted to tell me through the like through the video, and that was the one of my favorite ones in particular. Another one that I like, for very different reasons, the way it was filmed, the way that I did it, because I used a completely different camera setup, and that was basically in Dumfries, and that was quite near Barry actually, and it was an old underlay / Wellington boot factory. They actually used to make Hunter Wellington boots, and the factory is massive. It's vast. I actually found it by accident when I was a delivery driver a few years ago, and I drove past it, and it sort of looked a bit. And I thought, I need to have a look at that one day, and then I did. And the reason I like that, there was nothing massively interesting inside there, but I like the look of industrial buildings. I like how they portray themselves on a canvas, and they basically come across as massively overrun and worn out basically. But I liked that video because I filmed it with the 3-axis gimbal in 4K, and the way I like it is because of the vivid colors that the factory gave off, and the simplicity of it as well. It was very easy to film, and you might think with the gimbal work and using different cameras for different parts of the video, it was all filmed on one camera basically. And I like it because it was that damn easy. You could walk into one side of the factory and on one continuous loop walk from one end to the other without even stopping, and it was just so relaxed. But when that came back in the editing, it got it into post and started to edit that video down, it told a story that I couldn't tell, and it put into words something completely different. It was beautiful, and I like those two different types of video, to completely different ends of the spectrum. One's a massive industrial building filmed on a very high-end camera, and the other one was a very off the beaten track, out the way, hidden, not very much seen by people for a long time, filmed with a lesser camera, but both speaking from different volumes of the spectrum and both telling their own different story. And that's why they are two of my favorite videos that I've done for crazy different reasons. You can't just pick one. You can't.
Well, you have done a lot.
Yeah.
Huge.
Over 100.
Yeah, I know. Well, I don't know that. I've been looking. Twig, what would you say is your favourite one?
Well, up to now, it's got to be the House of Dust, what Flex did, what I did with him, because that's the first house that I hadn't seen pictures of before I've been in it. So that was like that was the first time that I've walked in without actually seeing pictures on other social medias and all that sort of thing. So yeah, I'd say that one for me at present.
So you like the first one, so it's like, wow, this is like mental. It must have been quite a rush to get in first in yourself saying that, and obviously Flex. I mean, that must have been a rush to go, like when you went in with your brother, that first house, well, that first bit, must have been some massive experience, just to sort of, if you want to, elaborate on that. Was it, what are the feelings when you go in?
The first house I went in with, Flex, to be fair, it was a bit, I don't know, it's just, it's a bit off because you know you're not meant to be in there, to be fair, don't you? You know you're not meant to be in that where you are. So at first it's a bit cool, a bit, and then you sort of, I don't know, you sort of, it eases down a bit and you just start focusing on taking your pictures and doing your video and that, and then it sort of takes your mind off it. But yeah, I don't know, my first time it's like you feel like you're a burglar sort of thing, but you're not because you're not taking nothing. So it's just trespassing, but it's like I say, it's going into there knowing that it's that was someone's home or someone's property and it's just been left, so someone does still own it. So it just, but then it sort of, I don't know, the more you go in it, the easier it sort of becomes. You don't think about it, you're just going in there to get your pictures and leave sort of thing.
You want to add anything to that, Flex? Not from your own experience?
Well, yeah, it's exactly how Twigs described it. It's sort of, it's better if you don't look into it too much beforehand. Get a rough bit of research to know what you're going into, but you never really know 100% what's going to be on the inside. You could get pictures of a house and go in there and then it looked nothing like that. And that's what you've got to prepare yourself for. You've got to prepare yourself for, change, natural decay and human decay. And when you get into somewhere, it looks nothing like it does on the pictures. But then my personal experience is walking into a house, particularly the one in Belgium. We did one in Belgium with the Opel Vectra 3000 that was in the garage. Walking into there was like, you couldn't contain the feeling. It was kind of like, imagine walking into your own house, but none of the stuff in it is yours. You feel welcome, but you don't really know why, and it's a strange feeling. But it's you're sort of on the edge, but it's a warm feeling. That's kind of what it's like. The only way I can explain it. I walked into that house after going around the back, and we had to climb through an already smashed window that was half thing. That right away is kind of like, yeah, I'm burgling. I feel like I'm burgling. But then you get in, and then once you're in, you're like, right, I'm in. we're in. Let's look. Let's enjoy this. And then you joined with the car, the garage. You know, right, this is massive. What went on in here? Why is it like this? You know, there's so many questions in your head, and you almost forget about time. You forget why you're there. You forget about consequences. You know, it just goes out of your head, and all that you can think about is why is this? Why is that? Why is that there? Why is that? And when I got into the kitchen and everywhere else, and things were set up where it was, and nothing really had moved, because there's a different. You go into a different country, you go into Europe, for instance, and abandoned buildings aren't really touched. There's not a lot of vandalism, and it's very, I'd say, it's disconcerting. You know, it's different. You don't you expect it to be smashed, but it isn't. And I, me and David were walking around there in particular, walking around. I says, I'm half expecting the family to come home from work now. Like, I really am expecting someone to walk through that door, because it was immaculate. Apart from a little bit of dust on the surfaces, it was immaculate. But my overall feeling was, where are they? Where have they gone? Like, that was all I could think about. Where have they gone? So you're constantly walking around taking your pictures and your video, but it's always in your mind. Where are they? Where have they gone? Why would they leave that? Why would they leave that?
So wherever you go, do you have that? You have that feeling, and obviously
Not everywhere.
not everywhere. So if you're in an industrial site, I suppose, or in a mine, or military place, you sort of, it's different feeling each time, is it?
Yeah, I'd say it's a different feeling, but I would say in industrial sense, I think it's a stronger feeling. And a lot of people probably won't agree with us on this, but I think it's stronger in an industrial setting, because you think in the work environment, people are there all the time. They're there every day. You know, they're doing whatever they do in the job and stuff. And people that have worked in a place for a long time get attached to that place. You know, it becomes the second home. And I've spoken to no end of people that are still alive, and that have worked in some places that I've done, and they always say the same thing. Oh, it's a shame what happened. I miss that place. And it always hits you in particular, I walked into a paper factory, a paperboard factory, and it's gone now. It's been knocked down, completely gone. But I walked into there, and the place was trashed. There was not a lot left of it. You know, there was minimal stuff left. There was a massive chemical spill, and it was, it wasn't safe to stay in there for too long. And we got into one room where the lockers were, so people go and get changed in the morning. Loads of lockers, and the first thing I looked at was the lockers, and I saw one covered with stickers, and I thought, there's a lot of pride in that. Although it's a mess, it's a locker. There's not a lot of interest. It's just a locker with stickers on. But you think about it yourself. You go to work. Whoever's done that has had a routine. They've gone into that place quite frequently, quite a lot, and constantly in there. They've taken the time over a period of time, just bang a sticker on, bang a sticker on, bang a sticker on, bang a sticker on. And then one day it's just boom, gone. Not allowed to return, can't ever go back. And that hits you more than the initial feeling of, oh damn, this place is ruined. That's more like it hits you as memories. And it's a crazy feeling, but I felt instantly like, I don't know how to explain it without sounding complicated. Kind of like missing a loved one, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But on an industrial level, if that makes sense. I think it was the same guy that contacted me on Facebook, and he says, "Oh, I used to work there. I worked there for about 12 years. It was a really nice place, family orientated. Everyone got on. Everyone was gutted when it shut down. Everyone was devastated. We all missed the place. I see you found that the locker with the stickers on, that was mine. And he spoke into great detail about what he did there and how much he enjoyed it, and the people and the management were great, and he just had a great working life there. And it's sad, very sad. So in an industrial side, a work side, I think it can be stronger than the home side of an abandoned place because you feel a lot more. There's a lot more going on. There's not just a family there. There's a lot of people. There's a big environment, and a lot of the time, people have passed on, and you get that residual energy in an environment like that where there's so much energy built up over a few years, and you can feel it. You really can feel it. It's stronger than when you're in a house, and I don't know if anyone else gets that.
I understand what you're saying. It sounds intriguing.
Mm.
On that, and someone's just walked in the door and walked back out.
Yeah. You can cut that.
I'm going to leave it. So, in regards to that, so you go out, you do the filming, you love it because of what what the areas are, what you're going into. So, obviously, you can keep it for yourself. So, both of you, this is a question. What are your main reasons to put it on YouTube? Why did you put it on there? Because you don't have to, but obviously, everyone has a reason for why they're putting it on there. Could you elaborate?
Flex can answer this one because I don't put mine on YouTube. I just keep mine for my personal. So Flex can answer this one.
I originally put them on so I could watch them back. I didn't really put them on for people to watch. I put them on for myself, and to showcase progress of how I started from just being just a guy with a phone camera, and I wanted to see myself progress and learn different things about filming and pictures and that kind of stuff, and learn, see myself go from one stage of thinking, why the hell did you do that? Why did you do it that way? Why didn't you do it that way? And it's just that way of looking back and thinking, you idiot, you could have done it like this. Why did you do that, you clown? And it's just that level of self-progression, and that's pretty much why I put it on, and that's why I started putting them on, to help myself and show myself that you can start off at a level and think that you're terrible, because everyone starts off at a level where they don't know what they're doing, but then you slowly build up and you get to the point where you think, that's bloody good. You know what? I'm going to blow my own trumpet here, and that is bloody good. Like I watch some of my videos and I think, why don't you make videos like that anymore? Why aren't you doing that? Why did you stop making videos like that? Go back to that. And it's that it sparks new ideas.
See, you saying that because obviously that wasn't the answer I thought. Because you've obviously been going a long time now. You're saying like you put them on there just to see like, oh, I could have done that better, just for you to look back on. Now, about 8 years ago, you did the Cosworth Graveyard, and that went viral. You got 677k views. So from that, did you then think, well, actually, people do like what I put on there, even though you weren't really bothered about anybody putting it on there? I mean, did that sort of change things for you? Did you think, well, I'll continue to do this, but watch what people like about you? Because I have seen videos have changed a lot since when you first sort of did it. Like you used to have a lot of it was just you and the camera. You didn't really show your face. It was just a bit of music. And now you're on there, you're talking to people as well, which is brilliant because we get a bit of an insight on how you're feeling about the place, but also you then sort of expand on everything, whereas your early videos didn't do that. So we'll do a change after that graveyard. As in
Yeah,
just want to
the graveyard video was kind of, it was never planned. I didn't plan to do it. I was just sat one night, about 2012, I think that was. And I sat one night and I was looking at abandoned cars around the world, and I got onto this story of this place in Sweden, and then that's how that came about. And I thought, right, I'll just look into it a bit more, do a little bit more research. Went so deep into it that I decided to make a video on what I'd found. Made a video as a joke, and I thought that'll be all right. I like that piece of music. That's cool. Stereo Heart, I think it was, and I got the instrumental version. It's actually a Swedish song, and the lyrics are in Swedish. It's a really nice song, but I got the instrumental version because I didn't want to get copyright striked, because I'd heard that you can get told off for using music. So I thought, oh, I'll get the instrumental, I'll bang it on there, and I'll watch it back at a later date. Anyway, I forgot about it, and about 6 months later, I thought, well, I've got a YouTube channel. Oh, I'll have a look on there because I wanted to comment on a video, and I was just on the browser and it wouldn't let us. And I thought, hang on, I've got a channel, I'll comment. And I went on, I was like, hold on, oh yeah, I put that video on, didn't I? And I looked, and I was sat in a friend's living room, and they didn't believe that it was one of my videos. And at the time, it had about 240 something thousand views. I was like, no way. Like, are you taking the piss? There was like thousands of comments, and I was like, where's all this came from? Like, what the hell? And I looked, and I had about 400 subscribers. I thought, what? What's going on here? So that sort of changed my view on things, and I thought, maybe people do want to see this. Maybe people are interested in this random sort of stuff and old abandoned stuff. Maybe it is a topic, because I'd never heard of anyone doing stuff at that point, like exploring. I'd never really watched exploring at that point. I started watching exploring videos maybe 2014 sort of era, and then got into that side. So I left that, I'd uploaded that, and I didn't upload a video for years. Sort of left it, started exploring myself and going out to different places, looking at stuff. And then it sort of dawned on us when I'd watched all these people, and I thought, sort of came into my head and thought, well, you can do that. It's not that hard. Just bang a video on. So I went and bought a GoPro, put it on my head, and thought, I don't want to put myself in this. I'm just going to see what happens. So I walked around with a GoPro, and then that happened, and everything just sort of came from that. And I guess the Cosworth Graveyard video made the channel what it is now. It sort of sparked it. That's what gave me the spark and pushed the channel. Because I'd looked one day and thought, it's just a video, it's nothing. Literally took 2 minutes to put together a couple of pictures, a little bit of music, blah, blah, blah. And it ended up being worldwide, talked about as far as the eye can see, many articles around the world, people talking about it, people even stealing it to the point of stealing the video and claiming it for themselves. And people asking, oh, we need an update. We need an update. We need to know what's going on with these cars. So I had to then find people that lived nearby and knew the guy. I actually got in contact with the guy who's called Martin. Very nice chap, actually. And did updates and stuff. So, but that, yeah, I would agree that did change my stance on things on YouTube. That Cosworth Graveyard video. I think if I never did that, things would have been a lot different. I don't think I would have got the spark to even consider doing it, I think. So yeah.
So from that one video, basically what you're saying is it changed your course of what you now do, yeah?
Yeah, definitely.
So let's change it a minute. So we've done what your best videos are. What's your worst? What's your worst explore? Come on. All the beans, all the beans.
My worst, without a doubt. Um,
We're not.
will probably be the white quai, or the white Y, as it's known. Either that one. It's a massive toss up between that one and possibly even going to Kangle, the Kangle factory in Clayton. The reasons why, basically, we went to the Kangle factory. Not a lot of it there. The place was de-roofed not long after it was closed down. The main building, which is older than the factory itself, is completely inaccessible apart from one side, which is completely burnt out inside. And we went in there, and as we were walking around, we'd been in for about 10 minutes. A police dog turned up and destroyed the full thing. So the video was a massive waste of time. So that was a massive flop, and that was just pointless. The other one, the White Quai, was an old pub in Durdar in Carlisle, and that one was one of probably my worst video, and that was because that was the one where I basically showed myself up. I basically fell through the floor.
Oh God!
And that was the one where I made a schoolboy error of looking at the camera, not looking at where I was going, and thinking, "Oh, hang on, this floor is full of shit. Have a look at the floor. What conditions the floor in?" But I didn't think of that. I thought, "Be all right. I've not fallen yet. It'll be fine." I normally look at floors and what conditions they are, see if they're sagging to one side or the walls are dropped or anything like that. It normally gives a telltale sign to floor condition, or if you're downstairs, you can look up and see. I didn't. I was in the heat of the moment because there was about 7 or 8 people there, and they were all just like running about, swearing, screaming, playing games and stuff, and it was very unprofessional. It was very random. We've lost you. We've lost you. I'll let you come back on first. You've got to leave this in as a blooper. No, we still lost him. Anyway, I'll carry on. Yeah, it was massively unprofessional. It was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. There was many things that I could have done better. There was many different things I could have done and should have done better. I shouldn't have went with so many people that didn't really care about it. I should have went with so many people that didn't give a shit about what they were talking about. I should have went with myself and minimal people and explored it properly. But there was too many people there, and I got a parking ticket that day as well. So that was my worst video ever.
You have a dog invade everything, and then you have a parking ticket at the same time. Wonderful.
Yeah. So yeah, never again.
Parking ticket, though. That's what I want to know. Sod them. Twig, I know you've done a few, obviously, with Flex, but you do some yourself. Is there anywhere you've ever done which you thought, oh my God, why do I even go in it?
Not as of yet.
That's fair play.
Yeah, I'll put that as that. Not as of yet. There probably will be some, or at some point, John. Yeah, but not just yet.
So what about most sort of scariest place you've been in? You know, like you think, oh God, what the hell am I doing here? Is there, that you feared for your life? I know it sounds strange to say that, but for people who don't know or are just watching, just first time ever like seeing this channel, when you do urban exploring, it's not like a walk in the park. You know, it
No.
can be dangerous. You have to make sure that you've got your wits around you, and also that your safety comes first. Other than the golden rule of never take anything, you've got to have safety come first. So
Yeah.
I'll throw it out to you guys. You know, is there anywhere you've ever been and you thought, actually, this is really dodgy? Shouldn't have been here.
Yes. There's more than one. There's quite a few because you know nine out of 10 places are dodgy for reasons to do with structure and everything aside. But one place I recall going into just about nearly killed us, and I kind of thought all the way right that the effort to get into this building to start with was like Fort Knox. It was just absolutely impenetrable. You know, it was just there was so much effort involved to even get over the wall. It was unreal. But anyway, we did. We got in. We got to the point of getting over the wall. And we thought, right, we're a step closer. Realised there was another fence about 20 foot high that we had to get over. I thought, oh, for God's sake, we might as well give up. Found a hole in it, got through. Walked down the road, got to the next part. Oh, another fence. Brilliant. I thought, oh, God, are we ever going to get in? So we persisted. We got in. I thought, great, we're on the grounds. Brilliant. We've actually done it. I've cut my hand open. I'm bleeding, but I'm in. So we got in, walked up to the first building where we seen a clearly open door. Thought, right, access. We're in here. Walked up. Someone had taken the staircase away. So we had to climb up what was left of the staircase, and there wasn't a lot. Basically, the bars going up, nothing else.
Yeah.
So that was another one. We walked up into there, got into the building, and realised that half of the floors had been removed. I thought,
Yeah.
right, well, this is pointless. Walking around, getting around, pitch black, couldn't see a thing. There was massive pits everywhere, so we could have fallen into oblivion. Luckily, we didn't. We got lost. There was two groups. We ended up splitting up and got lost. Couldn't find each other, so we went off. Then eventually met up in a staircase. I was walking up this particular staircase, and I've got it on video. And for various floors, maybe like third or fourth floor up, and I thought, oh, I wonder what's in here. Opened the door, went a step forward. Oh, no floor. And my foot was out. My foot was out the door. I was ready. I was committed, and it was only because I had hold of the handle, and I realised. I thought, whoa! Kept hold of the handle. I thought, someone pull me up, please. But that individual door and just rushing into things could have killed me. So that was probably the scariest place because of the threat to life, I think. I can't say I wouldn't go back because I did go back. I went into a different side of it though. But I'll basically tell you where that was. That was in Birmingham, and that was the Rover MG plant.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Absolute nightmare. Absolute nightmare. The second time we went back, I got contacted by Graham Phillips. Nice bloke, really nice bloke. He's a journalist from London. He does a lot of stuff in Russia and the Soviet Union type stuff. He's very fluent. He lived in Russia for years. He's a really good journalist. Went with him. I got a contact from him. I'm massively into Rover. I've had loads of Rovers. They are my favourite car. Can you take me to this factory? And I thought, oh God, I don't want to die. He says, I will pay you any amount for you to meet me in Birmingham. And I thought, okay. So I went and met him. He basically gave me the money in cash when I got there. And I thought, right, okay. He's credible. We went into this place, got in the same way we did last time, but it was a lot easier. Got up to the boundary, and there was like a bush, maybe 15 foot high, and a fence underneath it. And all I remember is that me, Graham, and Vicky at the time were crouched down, lying on the floor like this, looking through the fence, watching security walk from one side to the other and then back again for about 3 hours. No word of a lie. About 3 hours we were sat there because he was determined he was going in. He wanted to go in. There was nothing else he was doing. And he would sit there as long as it took for him to get in. And we were like, oh, for God's sake, I just want to go home. We're not getting in. We're not getting in. Give up. Right. I'm going to go for it. I'm like, what are you going to do? Seriously, what are you going to do? The guy, he stood up with his video camera in his hand, suit and tie, shirt on, you know what I mean? The works, not dressed for the occasion whatsoever, walked through the hole in the fence, and he was in. I thought, right, I said, Graham, I'm going to wait here and keep an eye for you. I'm not going in yet. I don't think it's right. He says, that's fine, I'm in. That's no problem at all. You've done what you needed to do. Come in when you're ready. Or meet me at the car. I thought, right, okay, no problem at all. No problem at all, mate. You go in. So he went in, and he went live on Facebook, and not Facebook, on YouTube. And the video is still on YouTube. He went live on YouTube. He was like, right, guys, this is the Rover MG plant in Birmingham, in Longbridge. And, oh, hey. And he walked up to this security guard, and the guy, can you get out? Can you get out, please? Come with me. He was like, I've got questions. I thought, oh, no. So he's here, hounding this security guard. What's the plans for the site? How long has it been closed? What's going on? I'm here of my own free will. You can't touch me. You can't touch me. So we need to escort you out to the main gate to get you out. I'm not going anywhere. I'm a journalist. I'm allowed to be here. And I thought, Graham, just give it up, mate. You've been caught. I'm not going anywhere. Don't touch me. Don't point that camera at me. He says, don't touch me. Well, the guy basically just pulled his camera down, but he kept filming. And you can ask Vicky about this because we laughed all the way home. There's a main gate around the outside, like around the side of it, where security come in and everything like that. And it's off on like a little industrial estate with some flats on it, and that's the access to get in. And he was escorted to this gate, and then the police car showed up, blue lights on, sirens on, and he he walked up to this gate live on YouTube and went, "Oh, police, they for me? Who would have thought?" It was just the way he said it. It was like he didn't expect the police were there for him. They were there for someone else because he didn't think he'd done anything wrong. He was in complete denial. And they walked up to him and went, "What's your name, fella?" He went, "I don't need to tell you my name. I'm a journalist. I'm here for work." "Are you here for me?" "Oh, I would never have expected that." And he just walked off. He walked off, walked right to the car, got in and went, "Well, that was a great success." He's nuts, absolutely nuts. But yeah, I've gone a bit off topic there, but
That's really funny. I mean, the story is, make sure that there's no security or you evade them, because you don't want the police coming along. That's just a journalist.
it was good though, because afterwards he took us to a restaurant, quite an expensive restaurant, and he says, "Get what you want." But are you sure? He says, "Yeah, get what you want. I'll pay for it. I'll treat you. I'm excited about the footage I've got." And I thought, all right then. So me and Vicky got all sorts of stuff. We went, you're not getting anything. No. I'm fine. I ate something this morning. He didn't eat. He didn't eat anything. Me and Vicky had like full course meals. Everything. So, do you want a pudding? No, I'm full. Come on, get a pudding. Like, no, I'm full. I'll get you a pudding. Come on, get a pudding. I'm like, all right then. He twisted my arm. You know, it's sort of like, so, come on, get one, get one, get one. So we had that, and he sat just looking through his memory cards on his laptop, not eating. We sat eating, and it was awkward as fuck. It really was awkward. It's just very strange interview. Very strange.
Takes
But yeah,
all, sorry, it takes
very
all
weird.
people to explore. Then, obviously, yourself, the journalist, who just wanted. So you've got to be what you're saying as well. Really, you got
Say
to be
that again.
patient. You got to be patient when you go somewhere
Yeah,
because you're not always be able to get in straight away. So you might have to sometimes come back. Whereas it's a prime example. That journalist went, no, I'm just going to go through. Don't care what happens.
that's exactly what they're like. Their mindset is just, all right.
Cool.
Well, what's the problem? Why can't I go in there? But he's really well known. You know, in Russia, he was a newscaster for Russian TV, and his channel was quite big at the time. He was on nearly 200,000 subscribers,
Wow.
so he was quite big.
Yeah.
And I was quite surprised he actually contacted us. But I stay in contact with him now, and he wants to do some further stuff. But he's I think he's still in Russia at the minute. I don't know when he's coming back. He sort of goes away for a long time, and you know, but he's from London.
Well,
He's
let him on the John Bench show. It'd be fine.
well, there you go. But he's a nice bloke, and he did a lot for the channel as well. You know, someone that big coming into the channel and doing some crazy stuff like that. You know, I've still got the video. I've got a raw video of what he did somewhere. I will find it and I'll put it into a different video. But it was just his attitude to everything, his attitude to life, and his attitude to, oh, why can't I be in here? Who are you to tell me I can't be in here? I'm doing my video. And I'm like, you just don't care. Why should I care? Like that attitude to life is just like, I actually learned quite a lot of it.
Well,
You know,
I don't know what you think, but that attitude, I mean, I found with a lot of urban explorers, you go in, you get your job done, as it were. You explore, you enjoy yourself, and then you go. You don't cause no hassle, although some people have done, but that's a different story. But that's the main crux of it, isn't it? You go in there, you enjoy yourself, and then you actually put it on to YouTube for other people to enjoy.
yeah.
And I think it serves. So moving on. So what plans have you got for the future? And I don't mean you're going to buy a big house in the country and retire.
That'll
Although
probably never happen.
No.
plans have you
Can't
guys
quite
got
afford that.
a lot of bits and pieces in the works, which I won't mention. But
Yeah.
any plans which you can mention, and of course I know you have. Although we're not talking about this directly today, you've got another channel which is Wheel Nuts. Is
Yeah.
that right? Your petrol heads, basically. So guys, if you like that, go and subscribe to Petrol. No, is it Petrol Nuts or Petrol Heads? Just tell me what it is. Wheel Nuts.
Wheel
With a
nuts is
Z.
an
That's what
alternative.
a piece of paper and you get it wrong.
Yeah. But yeah, wheel nuts is just our take on car life, anything car related whatsoever, anything cars, and it's just our take on it from a different point of view. So two car people just talking about cars, and
Yeah.
and that's it. It's as simple as that. You know, there's nothing too complicated about it. If you like cars, then there you go, and that's it. So yeah.
So what about for Flex Urban Exploring? What are you
Future
do?
plans. I've got some places planned. What we're actually going to do is at some point, the only thing holding us back at the minute is obviously Corona and the fact of money. because Corona single-handedly destroyed anything that I can physically do on the channel for a long time. So when that situation is fixed,
Yes.
the plans are to get back out, and I know a lot of farmland and a lot of places out in the middle of nowhere, and literally in the middle of nowhere, which have various different farmhouses and just random houses dotted all over the landscape. My plan is to go to these places and find out once and for all what they are. So one series, one episode, if you will, might be a feature-length documentary, will be about what is in the wilderness. Is that thing you found on Google Earth that looks like a house a house? Who knows? We're going to try and find out. So that's one thing that's coming, and along with further exploring and just general exploring as we do. A lot of history stuff is going to be coming. I've got a lot of history stuff planned, general history and whatnot. There is something else that I'm not going to talk about too much, other than it is kind of like a podcast series. So there will be a podcast coming out, a little bit of a twist, but it will be interesting. It'll be very interesting. You're not really gonna want to miss it. It's gonna be good. Twig, have you got any ideas that you can say?
Well, you've just sort of given away, said what really we can say. We can't really say much about that.
Yeah.
Just for everybody's knowledge, Twig's the quiet member of the crew.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
I try.
Everyone's got a quiet member. And before anyone thinks that Twig doesn't do a lot on the channel, you'd be massively mistaken. Twig does probably about 60% of stuff on the channel. I know you probably don't feel like you do, but you do a hell of a lot for the channel. It's a massive help, and it's a partnership, and I'm proud to do it. So there's a lot of stuff that goes into making these videos. And another thing that's going to be happening is, which I forgot about, we were going to make a video solely on the idea of how do we make a video? What goes into it? Where do we start? What does it cost? What do we need to do the video to start with? How do we even come about thinking of a video? So that's what we want to do. We want to show people the effort involved in starting from nothing to a video that's live on YouTube, ready to watch. Yeah. So no one really shows the process in between and how hard it is, because everyone thinks, oh, you're a YouTuber, it's easy.
It's not.
It isn't. It isn't. And people out there that do it for a career, a job, they will understand exactly where I'm coming from with this. It's hard. It's very hard. It's easier to have a full-time job, 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. It's easier
because you know what you're doing.
That is, you know what you're doing.
So that concludes my interview, boys and girls. So thank you so much for coming on. That's been great. Okay, Flex, if you haven't subscribed or even bothered looking yet, go and do it. Flex Urban Exploring. Check him out. Check them both out. I'm sure you'll like it. Along with Wheel Nuts, which is their second channel, all to do with petrol heads and stuff like that in cars. And at some point, I'll interview them about that as well. That's a very smallest channel compared to the Urban Exploring one.
Yeah,
guys, thank you very much for coming on and just explain them what you do. And if you haven't subscribed, just do it, guys and girls. And you've been listening to John Bengal. This is Flex, Urban Exploring, up here. Say hello, Flex, and goodbye.
Hello.
And that's Twig1UK. Say hello, Twig.
Hello.
Now just say goodbye because we're going to end it.
Bye,
Thanks for
people.
having us on.
Thanks for having us on, John.
Wow.
That's the end of the interview with Flex, Urban Explorer and Twigg1UK. If you'd like to check their channels out, please have a look at the link which has been going across the screen most of the time in the video, and it's also in the description box. If you like it, subscribe to them, like what I've been doing, my content, like and subscribe. I'll be back again soon with another interview or two or three or quite a few. In fact, I've got lots lined up, so more exciting stuff. And of course, if you want to be interviewed on here, whether you are an urban explorer or paranormal, maybe something a bit different if it catches your fancy, either email me in the link below, you can find it, and also you can always hook me up on Instagram as well. Take care, folks. Peace out.